Stories that inspire, entertain, and spread knowledge. Welcome to Storify.
Joachim Vujic was no ordinary schoolmaster. He craved adventure. He thirsted for the unknown, and in the early 19th century, he set off from his native Serbia to find it. Vujic's journey began in Trieste, a bustling port city on the Adriatic Sea. He boarded a merchant ship bound for the eastern Mediterranean. His heart beat with excitement. He dreamed of far-off lands and exotic encounters. Little did he know that his journey would be more perilous than he could have imagined. He would face storms that threatened to swallow the ship whole. He would come face to face with the terrors of piracy, but through it all, Vujic would remain undaunted. He would record his experiences in vivid detail. His tales would captivate readers for generations to come. The ship sailed east, leaving behind the familiar shores of Italy. The open sea stretched before them, vast and unpredictable. The sun beat down on the deck, the air hung heavy with salt and anticipation. For a time, the voyage was uneventful. The sailors went about their duties, the passengers exchanged stories and played cards. Vujic spent his days observing the crew, learning the ways of the sea. But one afternoon the sky darkened, the wind picked up, whipping the sails into a frenzy. Waves crashed over the bow, soaking the deck. A storm was upon them. The ship creaked and groaned under the onslaught. Fear gripped the hearts of the passengers, but Vujic stood firm, his gaze fixed on the raging sea. He would later write of the storm with a mixture of terror and awe. As the storm raged on, a new threat emerged. A ship appeared on the horizon, its black flag fluttering menacingly in the wind. Pirates. The pirates were a fearsome sight. They were armed to the teeth with cutlasses, pistols, and muskets. They boarded the merchant ship with ruthless efficiency, their eyes gleaming with greed. Vujic found himself caught in the midst of a fierce battle. The air filled with the sounds of clashing steel, the roar of cannons, and the screams of the wounded. Just when all hope seemed lost, a sail appeared on the horizon. An English brig, drawn by the sounds of battle, came to their rescue. The pirates, outnumbered and outgunned, were forced to retreat. Shaken but alive, Vujic continued his journey. He sailed on to Constantinople, then to Smyrna, immersing himself in the vibrant cultures of the Ottoman Empire. He learned new languages. He tasted exotic foods. He filled his notebooks with observations and reflections. One night he had a vivid dream. He dreamt of Aneta Kvekic, a wealthy widow from Zemun who had become his patron. In his dream she appeared pale and lifeless. He awoke with a start, a sense of foreboding heavy in his heart. Shortly after, he received news that Aneta Kvekic had died. The news shocked him to his core. He had lost his benefactor, the woman who had believed in his dreams and supported his travels. Section 5. The intriguing Aneta. Aneta Kvekic was a woman of mystery. Very little is known about her life. She was a widow of considerable means. She had a passion for the arts and sciences, and she saw something special in the young Joachim Vujic. She became his patron, providing him with the financial support he needed to pursue his travels and his writing. She encouraged him to explore the world, to learn from different cultures, and to share his experiences with others. Her death, so sudden and so close to the time of his dream, left many questions unanswered. Some whispered that it was more than just a coincidence. Section 6. Seeds of Doubt. Years later, a young scholar named Pavle Popovic began to research Vujic's life and work. Popovic was intrigued by the tales of adventure and the encounters with pirates, but he also noticed some inconsistencies in Vujic's accounts. Popovic discovered that there were no official records of the pirate attack that Vujic had described in such vivid detail. He also found discrepancies in Vujic's accounts of his travels, suggesting that he may have embellished certain events or even fabricated entire episodes. Could it be that the fearless adventurer was not all that he seemed? Was it possible that some of his stories were more fiction than fact? Section 7. A Legacy of Tales. Despite the doubts that Popovic raised, Vujic's stories continued to capture the imagination of readers. His tales of adventure, whether entirely true or partially embellished, offered a glimpse into a world that was both exciting and dangerous. He wrote of far-off lands, exotic cultures, and the perils of the sea. He brought to life the characters he met along the way, from the grizzled sailors to the cunning pirates, to the mysterious Aneta Kvekic. His writing, though sometimes rough around the edges, was full of life and energy. He had a knack for storytelling. He knew how to keep his readers on the edge of their seats. Section 8. The Art of Self-Invention. In a way, Joachim Vujic was a pioneer of self-promotion. He understood the power of a good story. He knew how to create an image that would capture the public's attention. He fashioned himself as a fearless adventurer, a man who had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. And in doing so, he paved the way for future generations of writers, explorers, and showmen who would use their own stories to captivate and inspire. His life and work remind us that the line between fact and fiction is not always clear. Sometimes the most compelling stories are those that blur the boundaries, blending reality and imagination in equal measure. Section 9. Fact, Fiction, and the Enduring Appeal of Adventure. So, was Joachim Vujic a fearless adventurer or a master storyteller who embellished his own life? Perhaps the answer is a bit of both. In the end, it may not really matter. What matters is that his stories continue to entertain and inspire us. They remind us of the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity, to embrace the unknown, and to dream big. And in a world that can often seem mundane and predictable, there is something undeniably appealing about a tale of high-seas adventure, complete with storms, pirates, and a mysterious benefactor. Follow Storify now. Thank you for your support.